Hello and welcome to Brimwood Farm. Last week we did a tour of the ornamental flower beds, so this week I thought I would show you the vegetable beds and what I'm growing. So let's head outside. So it's the second year in this garden and I'm trying lots of things for the first time. So I thought I'd give you a little tour to show you what I'm growing, what I'm about to sow, and also some of the failures that I've come across. Before we head outside, just take a look at the kiwi. It is doing really well. I can't believe how fast it's growing. I bought this plant this year, so it probably won't produce kiwis for a couple more years yet, but I'm really happy. And the size of some of these leaves, it's humongous, look. So let's head outside and I can show you what's going on. So first up, let us talk about this complete and utter failure. Now I normally grow my beans in here, my French beans and my runner beans, grow them up here, grow them along the trellis, and it's not a problem. This year they are not happy at all. They were growing okay and now the leaves have just gone horrible. I think I might have mucked up the soil. I put a lot of chicken manure in there over winter, and I don't know if it's rotted down enough, so I think the roots might have scurried down and become A, waterlogged, and B, maybe they've been burnt by the ammonia in the roots. I don't know. I have just started planting some more, so it's only July. There's still time to sow some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to plant any more in here. I'm going to plant them down the garden along the fence there, and see if we can at least get a few beans this year. The pumpkin idea hasn't worked great either. This is the main pumpkin. That pumpkin's actually doing all right, and it's starting to establish itself now. The two butternut squashes just look weak and feeble and horrible. I don't really know what's happened. Again, this isn't a prime growing spot for them. They're not in that much sun. Again, the chicken manure might have been too overpowering for them. But they are still growing shoots, and the new leaves that are coming through have got some decent colour. But the flowers, you can see, are just falling off. So we'll see. So that's a complete kind of failure, but you know, gardening is all about that. On the other hand, the peppers are doing really well. So I'm growing all my peppers and my aubergines in pots. I give them, most of them are in tubs, which I try and keep water in throughout the week, and then I'm feeding them a tomato feed once a week. So every Saturday I come out and I give them a good feed. So I've got several peppers already coming. This was the first and the biggest so far, and then there's a couple more in here which I'm really pleased with, and then they're still flowering as well. The aubergines, all of the first flowers fell off, so there are a ton of flowers on these, but all of the first flowers fell off, and I think that was not because they weren't pollinated, because obviously the peppers were pollinated, so something must have been pollinating around here, but I think it's more that they weren't watered enough. But I've got a lot of flowers coming. You can see this plant has got tons of flowers on, and this, I think, has been pollinated. The petals have fallen off, and it's actually doing something, and it's stiff and it's hard and it's not showing signs of falling off. So I'm hoping this is going to turn into a lovely aubergine or eggplant, wherever in the world you are and what you call them. So these are the plants I sowed back in January, so they've got a good head start. And then these are the ones that I put in March, so they are behind. So they're just starting to flower. So this is the first flower on the aubergine here, and then these peppers are literally just starting to form the first buds. And actually, I think down here I've just discovered this is just starting its first pepper. Oh, and there's a lovely little cricket here. Hello, cricket. That's nice to see. Hello. Right, so let's go down the garden to where the rest of the beds are. Hello chickens. So this is my main growing space. So we've got carrots here. The cat dug up these first carrots, so they should be in rows. They're not. They're kind of all over the place, but I did spot in here earlier. There is a little carrot here, and it's looking quite nice. I don't know, shall I pull that up? Let's pull it. Lovely. That's a nice dinky carrot. So this is Amsterdam F1, and then I've got purple haze and Yellowstone in here as well. And I've just started to sow more, and then the idea is I'm going to fill this bed with carrots, and I might, because we are in July now and they take a few weeks to come up, so I might actually put something else in the bottom. I'm not entirely sure yet. I have just sown some pak choy, not pak choy, chard, so I might put the chard down the bottom here. These are my beets. So we've got manita, which is it's a single seed, so for every seed you put in you get a single beetroot coming up, so that's looking nice. In the middle we've got red ace. Red ace isn't a single, so sometimes you'll get a single one like this. I'm just looking to see if I can find any doubles. This one here, this seed had a double. You can see there's one plant here and another plant here. And then Jogia pink is on this side, and this again is a multi plant seed pod, so you can see you've got a couple in there. And then what I'll do, you can see which is the bigger one already, so I'll twist this one off, and then that will leave this one to grow on further. And I'm sowing more of those as well, because you can still sow beetroot through July and August and they will still do well. This is the salad bowl lettuce, salad bowl red lettuce. And it's doing really well. It's done really well. You can see it's gone to seed, or it's starting to bolt, but all these leaves are still really tasty and nice, and I've just sown another batch of that, so I'm picking what I want off here, and then I will pull all of this out and put new lettuces down, as well as the spinach and the rocket and the lamb's lettuce and the other sort of salad greens that are good in the cooler parts of the year, so they'll be going in. So that's the salad bowl red. I've finally got my kale out, and I've kind of put together some kind of horrible looking netting, but if it keeps the cabbage whites off I will be happy, because last year they just eviscerated. Thank you, Barry. They just eviscerated everything. So we've got those going here. This end we've got loads of lovely rocket. Now it is trying to go to flower, as you can see here. We've got some flower, but I'm just chopping that off when I find it, and that keeps it from flowering completely and just prolongs it. Again, it's not a great summer crop because it does go to flower, but it's cropping really well. There's tons of leaves, and then I've got more over here that actually survived attack of the hens, so it's doing well. Radishes. Now, if you saw Small Hoarding Diaries, you would have seen that I was feeling a bit down about my radishes because they're supposedly an easy crop and I just can't blimmin' well grow them. However, I might have worked out why, because I don't think I was watering them enough. Because if you look in here, let's pull this up, that is a very nice, cute little bright lights radish. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I just wasn't watering these poor things enough, so let's pop that there. And there's another, here's another one. This is a French salad bowl, the French breakfast, I think. And that's not bad either. They're not huge, but it's the taste I'm worrying about more than the size. So we'll see, I'll go and taste those later, but I think I just need to water more. And then there's a bit more lettuce over here and some rocket, more rocket. The cordon trees, this is the pear, it's done really well. The apple has been a bit hit or miss, it's just not really doing much. The plum has done all right. And then this bed is free because this is going to be where I put the winter spinach in. And then finally, in the greenhouse, again, you will have seen my misery about my tomatoes, because the tomato flowers got fried in the heat. So I have this one beefsteak tomato that's coming, but it's not the only one. I did notice amongst the plethora of leaves there are a couple more tomatoes in here, and what I'm doing is I am just tying everything as high as I can. So normally I cut them off at this height, because I've got tons of flowers down here and tons of fruit, but that hasn't happened this year because all of the flowers on this level died off. So I'm feeding them once a week with the tomato feed, and I'm letting them grow up a lot taller than I ordinarily would. And you can see there are a lot of flowers at these higher levels. So I'm just going to let them grow as far as possible, probably to up here. I'll probably this will probably be the top rung, so I'll let the rest come up here. And I'll see how I go, and I'll see if I can try and salvage something from this tomato mess. And then finally, I've got a few pickling cucumbers down here. So they're growing amongst the tomatoes, and you can see they're just starting to lose their flowers and turn it into little dinky fruits. There's another nice little one here. Now these aren't pick and eat cucumbers, these are pickling cucumbers. So I'm hoping for good crops so I can actually make a lot of jars of it. Or I won't get that many jars, maybe 2 or 3 jars of pickled cucumbers that I can put in the pantry and keep through to the winter. So that is kind of the vegetable plot at the moment. It's been hit or miss, and lots of things have gone wrong, but then that's gardening, isn't it? So I've come back inside because Barry is absolutely screaming the garden down, and I can't even hear myself, so you probably can't hear me at all. So that's the state of play with the vegetables this year. It's just year 2, as I said earlier, and so I'm still learning about what grows well and what grows differently in the different places around the garden. There's been quite a few failures, but the good thing is because it's still summer I can still get loads of stuff in. So I'm planting more radishes and carrots and doing the successional things that way, and then at the end of the month I'll start sowing some of the wintry stuff, so spinach, lamb's lettuce and things like that will survive the lower temperatures through the winter. So if you've had successes and failures, I would love to hear about them. Just give me a comment telling me what you're growing, what you've done well with, what maybe hasn't worked as well this year, because it's all a learning experience, and the more we share, the more knowledge we get, and then hopefully the better harvests we also get. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.